A lady was out in the snow trying to get home, but her legs were turning blue. How could God possibly help her out of this dangerous situation? You'll find out next on this episode of Stories of Faith. Hello and welcome to this episode of Stories of Faith. We've got some good ones for you today. You'll want to stay tuned. With me is Sayuri Rodriguez. Welcome, Sayuri.
Thank you.
We have some good ones. Yeah, the Lord is always working. Today, folks, our topic is going to be when God sends angels to help. When God sends angels to help. I don't know about you, Sayuri, but I love thinking about angels. You know, we know that they are God's messengers, and the Bible tells us. The word angel means messenger.
Right.
So actually, we can be human angels if we are God's messengers here on earth.
That's right.
But the ones we're going to talk about today are the ones that come from heaven, the ones that have not fallen, the ones that are God's angels.
Right.
Sometimes extremely powerful. You'll hear stories, and the angels will just be like mighty men. They look like I've heard them mostly always referred to in the masculine sense. The Bible always refers to them in a masculine sense. So you see these strong angels sent, and when you're in trouble, especially physical harm and danger,
Right.
you want God to send those strong
Right.
angels.
Yes.
But Sayuri, have you ever stopped to think that on earth, besides perhaps your parents or if you're married, your spouse, angels know you the best? I mean, they were there when you were born. They've seen your life. They've seen how you've been. And God has commissioned at least one, maybe two, maybe more, to guard you and guide you through your life. And someday when you meet them, let's just say it's going to be a little lopsided because they're going to know you a lot better than you know them.
That's right.
But I'm very anxious to make that acquaintance, isn't it? And I don't know about you, I think I might have seen an angel once in my life. I've told that story on a previous program about when I was on Highway 80 going up between Sacramento and Reno, and I stopped to help somebody, and this highway patrolman appeared suddenly and didn't seem to say a word. Anyway,
he helped you.
I was trying to help a man. The man kind of looked a little sketchy, and the angel, if this was an angel, which I think it probably was, probably saved me from getting involved with something that might have been dangerous for me. But I'll find out someday because I'll ask my angel and say, what was that all about? And I'll find out. But do you have any thoughts on angels?
I have not seen, and actually that has been one of my prayers, that hopefully I get to see my angel one day. But I have heard what I believe were angels singing. And I think I share that story as well. And it helped me. So it's always, they come to help, right? To give a message.
Before we get into it, Sayuri, did you have anything you wanted to share?
I do want to share that, as I mentioned before, we now have a new member in the family.
A previous program.
Previous program. It's a little baby, 2 months old, little baby girl. And she has been to me as you know, she may not be an angel like what we're going to be talking about, but she has been like a little angel. There's been many times that it's 3 a.m. and I'm carrying her and I'm rocking her or feeding her. And the words of that song that say, you know, how sweet to hold a newborn baby, but greater still the great assurance that this child can live, can go through this life that sometimes it's so scary because he lives. So every time I see the little baby, it reminds me of how precious it is that God is in control of our lives, the future of this baby, our future, and it's a reassurance. I praise God.
How old is she?
She's 2 months.
Oh, my goodness. Well, that I'm sure keeps you very busy.
Yes.
Yeah, wonderful. Before we get into the stories for today, though, I wanted to also mention something else. We're recording this during the time of winter here in Oregon. And there's people watching this program from Oregon, but maybe you're watching somewhere else in the world and you've never been to Oregon. I thought we'd just take a moment to show you what winter looks like in Oregon. On the mountaintops, there tends to be more snow. If you happen to live in the valley, like we are down here, you don't see snow that often. Maybe once a year, maybe twice a year. But mostly it's on the mountaintops, which is nice, Sadie, because if you want snow, you just drive up to the mountains and see the snow. If you don't, stay down in the valleys. but I wanted to share some pictures because later on we're going to have a story that we're going to tell that happened in winter when it was very cold. So this will help get you in the mood for that story.
Very nice.
Yeah. But to launch into this about our angels, you have a Bible text to share?
I do. It's found in the book of Psalms, chapter 103, verse 20. The Bible says, "Bless the Lord, you, his angels, who excel in strength, who do his word, heeding the voice of his word."
I like the thought that God commissions angels to do things. And, and you know how heaven is, they love to do it.
Yes.
The Lord says, I need you to do this. And I'm so thankful that there are angels that are willing to come help us. Because you know, on earth, coming down here, it's a big step down from heaven.
Right.
There's a lot of bad, terrible things that happen, and they have to watch it as they go about their business. And I'm sure that it'd be much nicer for them to stay in heaven. But they are exhibiting God's selfless character when they come to help us like Jesus did.
Amen.
So we owe a debt, gratitude to our
We
angels.
sure do.
There is a story that I want to start out with, and it's the one that I teased at the beginning of the program.
Okay.
This will get you have to start thinking about winter again. Get yourself in a winter mindset. In this story, there was a lady, and she wanted to pick up a check one day, but she needed a lift. Her husband, for some reason or another, didn't or couldn't or whatever want to take her. And she thought, well, I'm going to go get my check anyway. It's only a mile away. Have you ever walked a mile?
Yes.
Yeah. Pretty easy when it's nice and warm and sunny. But in the middle of winter, when it's cold and icy, it could be a little more challenging. But you know, she made it. She made it all the way where she was going to pick up her check. And then she was on her way back, and it started to get a little worse. The weather started to turn a little worse. And as she got near her house, she came past a large graveyard. And she thought, you know what I'll do? I'll cut through this graveyard because just on the other side over there is a fence. And if I can just cut through the graveyard as a shortcut, get to that fence and open it, I'll only be a few houses away from my house, and it will save me. It was cold, remember?
Yeah.
She went through the graveyard, she got to that fence, but when she arrived, it was a little more difficult than she imagined. Snow had built up all around this gate. And she tried to move the gate, she tried to move the snow, and she was working on it for a little while. And whatever she could do, she could not get that gate open. There was just too much snow and ice.
Wow.
So she said, oh no, I'm going to have to go back to the front of the graveyard, back to the entrance area, and walk around to my house. Well, about this time, a pickup pulled up next to her there in the graveyard. Have you ever been to a graveyard and you sometimes see the workers out there?
Yes.
They'll be working on the grounds, and they typically drive pickups, I think, at least in my mind. Anyway, he drove up to her with a pickup, and the door opens up, or either she opens the door or he opens the door, and he says, hop on in.
Oh.
And she was like, well, no, I don't need a ride. I'm okay. I'm just going to walk down. And she was trying to put it off. He goes, no, my boss has been watching you for a long time, and he sent me to help you. He says, look, your legs are turning blue. You need to get home. Get in the car and I'll take you home. She finally gave in.
Okay.
She hops in the car, and once again he says, my boss has been watching you for a long time. Sent me to help you. And so she did not tell him where she lived, but you know, he took off the road and went down to the gate of the graveyard, and he turned the right direction to take her home, although she had not told him where to take her. She later found out, by the way, and this might give it away a little bit, but she found out that from where she was working on that gate, the office of the graveyard could not see her. That's a little curious.
Okay.
Put that in your mind. We'll come back to it. So they're driving home. She's driving home with this guy in his truck, and she comes up to the intersection of her street. Oh, she looks straight across, and guess who is in a car facing her right there? It is her husband. And she goes, oh no. She goes, I am going to get it now. He's come out looking for me, and I'm going to be in trouble. And her husband was looking right at the truck. So she goes home. The guy drives her home, pulls up in front of her house. She hops out of the car, and before she leaves, the driver, the kind guy who picked her up, says something kind of important.
What did he say?
He says, you need to be more careful next time. You could have died.
Wow.
Well, she quietly shut the door and went up to her home. At the moment, though, she was thinking more about the trouble that she was going to get in with her husband. But you know, when he showed up, when she talked to him, he didn't say much of anything. And she goes, well, you know, I saw you when you were out at the end of the road here. I saw you because we were in the pickup right in front of you. You looked right at us.
What did
And
he
her
say?
husband said, pickup, end of the road. He goes, I didn't see any, I didn't look at you. I didn't see any pickup.
Huh.
And then she thought of the words of the man.
Yes.
My boss,
My boss.
has been watching you,
Yes.
and he sent me to help you. And we think, and she thinks,
The
her
boss
boss was the boss,
Yes.
the ultimate boss. So God, we believe, sent an angel
Wow.
to save her because it sounds like she really was in danger.
Yes.
I mean, the guy said, look, your legs are turning blue.
Whoa.
Yeah. Isn't that beautiful?
Beautiful story. I like that story.
Now, you have a good story for us too, don't
I
you?
have a good story too. And this happened in the jungle. There was a river and a boat that I've heard stories about this boat before. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, it happened in Brazil.
Was it a mission boat?
It's a mission boat. It's called Lucero in Spanish, Lucero,
What does that mean in Spanish?
like light, like.
Oh, that's a good name for a
yes,
mission boat.
Beautiful
Yeah.
boat. Well, the pictures I've seen, it's a beautiful boat, but it's used for missionary purposes. And so one day, the captain of this boat, his name is Leo. They were going on the river with his son, 15-year-old Jack. And as they were doing that, they would see the jungle. You could just imagine it, right?
Oh, you could hear the
trees,
sounds
the
and see the-
monkeys, all of that. And as they were going, they noticed there were 3 men on a canoe by the river. What do you call the edge of the river?
I'm not sure. The edge of
just
the river.
there.
Yeah.
And so they were just there and they said, hey, can you give us a lift upstream? And normally, and Mr. Leo knew very well, this could be very dangerous. 3 guys.
Oh,
Actually, the only thing that I think he might have thought, well, maybe it's not so bad, is because they were very well dressed.
oh, okay.
And so he thought for a moment, and then he said, okay, Jack, can you throw a line so that they can pull them over, right? And when they did, remember there were 3 of them. 2 of them went up on the boat. One
Up
of
on the
them,
Lucero.
Yeah, on the Lucero.
Okay.
And the other one stayed in the canoe.
Okay.
Now, I'm trying to picture it because as you hear about it and you read about it, you're wanting to picture what it looked like. The two of men went right next to Mr. Leo. And he's here at the, what do you call
At
it?
the helm with maybe the wheel. I don't know if they have
The
wheels
wheel.
on boats, but the steering mechanism.
The steering wheel.
Yeah.
And so as he is there, and he's ready to, okay, I got them, let's move, and continue on our way, something incredible happened.
Well, you're going to have to hold that thought
Okay.
because we need to take a break.
Yes.
So, folks, you want to hear what happened, don't you? On this boat, 3 mysterious men. 2 are with him, 1's still in the boat. Something's going to happen, isn't it?
Something's happening.
Well, friends, stay with us. We'll be right back with the end of that story and more.
Better Life Broadcasting is a viewer-supported Christian media ministry that offers streaming programming via apps on various devices. Please visit blbn.org to support Better Life or to get more information. And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Welcome back to Stories of Faith. We've been talking about angels, one of our favorite topics on the program. And Saidi, you were just telling a story about a mission boat named,
Lucero.
that's right, you can say it better than I
El
can,
Lucero.
which means light, we think.
Light,
Yeah.
I think.
And on this story, you were talking about 3 men who they met along the river in a canoe, and 2 of them ended up coming on board. The other one stayed in there, and they went next to him in the wheel room. I'm gonna imagine. I know the name of it. Something like that, where he navigates.
Right.
And they were on each side of him.
Yes, like right next to him. Now remember, he has his son with him. So his son is kind of away from them. But they come next to him, and so he's there. He starts moving the boat, the riverbank, so like right next to it. That's what he was just supposed to continue doing when suddenly one of the men grabbed into that,
Grabs
what
the
we don't
wheel.
know, the
Yeah.
wheel, and moves it so that now the boat, very fast because of the
Jerk.
yeah, so much that it went all the way to the middle of the river.
Oh.
Now, what would you think if that
I
happened
would
to you?
wonder if the
They're taking
guys-
my boat, right?
I would wonder.
Hijacking? Yes.
Hijacking.
Hijacking, yes. And so So he's worried, what's going to happen? But then he realizes, he turns back to the riverbank and realizes that if he had kept going 20 feet, they would have found hundreds of rocks, big rocks. What would have happened? The boat would have just gone,
Could have been damaged.
goodbye,
Yeah.
and even their lives. So the guy sees this, Mr. Leo, and he goes, woo, thank you, you saved our lives. What do, these two men? They just smiled. They just smiled and continue because now there's rocks close. So they're kind of navigating so that they're not in the danger that they were actually going to be at.
So are these guys navigating the boat still?
Yes, for just a little bit more until they get out of that situation, right?
Oh.
And then they tell him, okay, thank you. You can just leave us there. And so Mr. Leo turns around and he sees the river and where they want to stop and get out.
Yeah.
And he thinks, that doesn't look like a place where somebody would want to stop. It was just a little bit that they were with us.
Yeah.
And so, but he obeys, right? And he takes them and he leaves all three of them. Now, I guess I'm not an expert, but you're in the boat and you're bringing people in. So then you have to do all these different things. So he tells his son, check and see where they go. And the son turns around and he goes, they disappear. They're nowhere to be found. The canoe, the three men,
Yeah.
nowhere to be found.
Vanished.
They saved them.
They were only with them during the time of danger.
Yes.
Oh, well, that has angel written all over it.
Oh, yeah.
That's just, God said, I need you to go down and help that boat. Help our boat. It
Yes.
was a mission
Our
boat.
boat, missionary boat.
That's right. It was God's boat. Oh, that's beautiful. Well, Saida, you know, from time to time we ask the audience to send in their stories. And so we've gotten emails from around the world. People have called up and told me their stories on the phone. I have a story today that I want to share. And guess what country this one comes from? This lady
I
contacted
kind of
me.
already know.
I
so.
think I told you. It's Australia.
Yes.
Our friend
Beautiful.
Cindy, our new friend Cindy, we're making a lot of friends because of this program. Our new friend Cindy sent us a story that had happened to her, particularly happened to her daughter, although she was there too. And she thought that we would like it, and I do. I like it. Okay, so she said that this happened when her daughter was, she's guessing 10 or 11 years old. And she said, my daughter is now 19, and we got this a number of months ago. So maybe her daughter's 20 now.
Okay.
So you can tell it wasn't that long ago, but her daughter was a young girl.
Okay.
10 or 11, somewhere there. And she was being homeschooled, but they also had the job to clean their local church. And by local church, they were a little ways out of town.
Okay.
So she got in her car, she was being homeschooled, so she had a little bit of freedom to go whenever she wanted to go clean the church. So it was about the middle of the day, midday maybe. Went over to the church in her car. She had a little Mazda 121. Drove over there, got out of the car. She had her church keys and the car keys. She got out of the car, went to the door, and when she got somewhere by the church, she realized, where are my car keys?
Oh, no.
Have you ever had that feeling?
Oh, yes.
You're going somewhere and then you realize, wait, where's my car keys?
Yeah.
She went back to her car. Do you know where they were?
Inside. Oh, no.
They were in the ignition. And that's not necessarily bad, but the bad part is all the doors were locked.
Locked.
You ever had that, folks? Lock yourself out? Some house,
we've
car?
heard.
Well, it was a warm day. It was a hot day. And there were her keys hanging inside her car, and it was locked. She could not get into them. Still in the ignition. In the small town that she lived, the church was about 13 and a half miles, 22 kilometers. That's what they use over there in Australia, 22 kilometers away. And so she thought, how am I going to get
Right.
into my car to get these keys? Well, she said, I can call my son. So she called her eldest son.
Oh, she had her phone.
Either she had her phone or she used the keys to the church to get into the church.
Okay.
She called and said, I need help. I've locked myself out of my car. He says, well, I may be able to help you. I think I can help you, but when I get a break from work or something. So she's on the phone with her son, and she sees her daughter, apparently. At some point here, her daughter enters the picture.
Okay.
And her daughter is going from door to door, the trunk, they call it the boot, I think.
Oh, yes, they
Yeah,
do.
the trunk, the side door, and the mom here says that she used part of her watch. I think she's talking about the watch band,
Oh, yeah.
and she's touching the lock. She touches the back lock on the trunk, she touches the lock on the side, walks around, touches the other lock. I don't know if it was a 2 or 4 door, but she's touching the locks. She gets to the driver's side door and she touches it and pop,
Really? I'm going to try that next
The
time.
well, that's what she said. She said her daughter's little thing would do nothing because it was so big. It wouldn't even go in the thing. She was just using it as a touching thing. It wasn't doing anything for the lock. She said, but then she saw this car door pops open, the lock. She runs over, opens that door, driver's side door, grabs those keys. Now here's the thing. She asked her daughter, how did you do that? How did you get the car door to unlock like that? And she goes, well, I was just going to each lock with my little piece of my watch here, and I was praying, Jesus, please open the door. Then I went to the next one and touched it, Jesus, please open the door. And she was doing that around the car, and when she got to the door that was on the driver's side and said, Jesus, please open the door, pop.
Wow.
So the daughter didn't do anything. I mean, she didn't do it.
Right,
She was not responsible for it opening. The Lord opened that door. Okay, and that's cool. For a little girl, that's wonderful.
Yes.
But you want to hear something that makes it even more special?
Oh, please.
Yep, here goes. The door of the car, that door was hard to open. You could pop the locks on the other ones with the key pretty good. But if you wanted to get the lock to pop on that door, the door that opened, you put the key in and you jammed it around and you turned it. And maybe it comes up part way and you still are jamming it and you finally get it up and then you can open the door. So which door did God choose to open
The hardest one.
for that little girl?
That's right. Wow.
Lord said, listen, I'm going to do this for you.
Big.
And you're going to know that I did it for
Oh,
you
yes.
because I'm going to choose the hardest lock.
Wow.
And I think he probably sent an angel to do that.
Yeah.
That's why he's
An angel inside.
Yep, boop, that's all they have to do. And so God did something special. It was a little miracle. It was
Yes.
important to them.
Yes.
And he did it for the little girl. And I thought that is awesome.
I like that story.
And we thank you for sharing that story with us. And folks, if you have other stories that you want to share, so God did something extraordinary for you, please visit our website. It's blbn.org. blbn.org. And you can send us your story because we have a place where you can contact us on our webpage. You can actually watch our show from our webpage. You can watch our channel, which plays 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on our website. So we invite you to visit that. But we're not done with stories yet. Sayodi, you have another one for me?
I have another one. This story happened to a pastor that we know, Pastor Garcia. And he has 3 daughters. Let me see. 1, 2, yes, 3 of them. And they all sing or play an instrument. So I would say about 10 years ago, he was doing some evangelistic meetings, and his focus, or what he speaks about the most, is on prayer. So he does a lot of prayer retreats and prayer conference and things like that. And every time he would do the conferences, the daughters will come and they will have music at the beginning and at the end of the service. So one day, they told the story that it was time to finish one of the meetings. And the girls got up and one went to the piano and the other 2 started singing. And they were singing at a time where everybody was kneeling down. The congregation, the pastor, and they were just singing as a background song. The pastor had finished his sermon. He had called, made an invitation. People came. Everybody was on their knees, and they were praying. And it was kind of like a silent prayer at one point, and the girls were singing.
Nice.
Okay, well, that's very nice. But all of a sudden, people started just being so happy, kind of like, wow, that sounds so nice. And the pastor himself, he was like, whoa, my daughters, really, they're doing an awesome job. They're singing so beautiful. So then the sermon and everything finishes and everybody's going back home, and people kept saying, wow, that last hymn, that was like hearing angels singing. And the girls were just like, But it was like something, they were either not saying something, hiding something. They were just very quiet, like, praise the Lord.
Wow.
Just quiet, right? Well, when Dad comes and he goes, listen, I know I've heard you singing before and you had been practicing that song, but this time, you guys, you did awesome. It was so beautiful. Your voices sounded so rich. The girl said, Dad, we had to be quiet at one point because it was not us. They said, we were singing and we heard the voices.
And they stopped singing?
They were like singing, and then one by one, they were like, who is singing like this?
Yeah.
And it was angels singing.
So the congregation didn't know.
The congregation thought they were hearing them. The congregation, everybody was hearing angels singing. Isn't that beautiful?
That's another thing I want on my list. I would love to
Hear the angels sing?
sing.
Oh, it's really beautiful.
We tell another story on another previous program about a family, a mom and two kids,
Yes, remember
who heard the angels singing from the treetops. In that situation, they even heard orchestration. They heard harp,
Right.
and they heard instruments.
See, I remember when I heard them singing, I don't remember the instruments, but they were singing, Jesus is coming again.
You heard that.
I heard that. I heard
And
that.
how did you know it was angels?
Well, because then the girls that I was living with, I thought it was them playing something. And
Yeah.
we lived in a house that was actually very far away from other houses. And so when I came outside after hearing the beautiful song, I said, wow, that song was beautiful. They looked at me like, what? And I said, the song that you were playing, I've never heard, who sang that? And they all said, we had no music here.
Only you heard it?
Only
They
I.
didn't hear it?
They did not hear it. I was in my room feeling sad and discouraged, and that song, Jesus is coming again. Beautiful. I remember thinking, I've never heard anybody sing this way. It's beautiful.
You know, friends, we have the opportunity one day of joining with the angels,
Amen.
singing with them. And you can make that come true if you give your heart to God. We want to encourage you, if you haven't made that choice, to make it. Give your heart totally to God. You won't regret it, and He only has good things for you. We have to go now, so I want to remind you, give your heart to God, do what He says, and you too can have your own story of faith.